Yeah. I'm gonna start this video off by promoting my website, enigma.com. I paid Tariq Nasheed $1,000 to promote my business on his website, and he hasn't done it. So therefore, I'm using this opportunity to promote my business. So this is my ebook bundle. You get all 12 of my ebooks for $30. It say 50, but I'll change it to 30. And these are the ebooks right here. You know, later on in this video, I'm going to actually demonstrate by showing you some of the books. But yeah, this is my website, enigma.com. Support my business, black-owned business, so-called FBA business. You know, I'm from Chicago, family from the South. But yeah, this is my business. These are the books that you could get. These are my books. You know, the old black magazine Enigmas. You get all of these books. I'm gonna say 30, but you could pay the 50 if you want to pay the 50. Or you can get the individual books, $10. $10. And this is my poetry book right here. Parts of Man, the Declaration of Truth. But the topic of this video has to do with my newest book, Enigma number 8. And this is the cover for it right here. I'm working on it right now. And I have an article called Sublime Neutralization, The Predator Man. This is the newest article I'm working on. And in this article, I have a section dealing with the ancient struggle between the Caucasian and the Negro. And how originally Africa was only allocated to one country, which was Carthage. After the Third Punic War, Carthage was destroyed and renamed the Roman Republic of Africa. And then you had the Republic of Judea, the Republic of Egypt. Every territory was a particular province. You know, Africa was Carthage. And eventually, in the late 7th century AD, Carthage was conquered by the Arabs and was renamed Tunisia. But the land itself, the entire landmass, was never called Africa until the Berlin Conference, when Europe actually carved up Africa to different nations and named the whole continent Africa. But, you know, African people tell me that they are not black. And if you look at an African person, they are really known by their country. Like a Nigerian, they are not properly called an African. They're called a Nigerian, just as well as Ghanaian. And those are British territories. They're part of the British Commonwealth. But they are not Africans. The only Africans are those who originated from Carthage. Hold on. Originated from Carthage, which was actually a city-state set up by the Phoenicians from Tyre, 900 BC, by a lady named Queen Alyssa. That was the first queen of Carthage in modern-day Tunisia. But it wasn't called Africa until a Roman general, Scipio Africanus, defeated Hannibal in the Second Punic War. And that's when they started to call Africa, where Carthage, Africa. And then when that Third Punic War, when Carthage was totally destroyed, everybody was enslaved. That's when actually everybody was called, and Carthage was called the province of Africa. But there was a man by the name of Maurice from Thebes, Egypt, in the third century AD. Let me find him. Hold on. Let me find him. Saint Maurice. Saint Maurice. Let me find a picture of Saint Maurice. He is the reason the Negroes were called Moors after Saint Maurice. This is Saint Maurice right here. He's the patron saint of the Swiss Guard, the Vatican Swiss Guard. He was the patron saint of the Holy Roman Empire. What happened was Saint Maurice was sent by Emperor, uh, what's his name? Maximian, Emperor Maximian of the Roman Empire. He was sent to Switzerland in what they call Gaul. Europe wasn't called Europe, it was called Gaul. He was sent there to stop a rebellion of Christians, a Christian rebellion of peasants in Gaul. But before I talk about Saint Maurice, let me talk about Julius Caesar. After Carthage was totally destroyed and it was renamed the province of Africa. No, it wasn't even renamed the province of Africa until Julius Caesar took over. Caesar was conquering as a general in Gaul, which was Britain, France, Northern Europe. Somehow he came back and conquered the Roman Republic. And one of the first things he did after conquering the Roman Republic, he made himself Emperor Caesar. And then he made an edict, an order, a decree to rebuild Carthage. And then he married Cleopatra because they had the province of Egypt and had a child with Cleopatra. But he made Africa the center of the Roman Empire. And then he was killed later on. 2 years later, he was killed, betrayed, and stabbed in the back, right? And I remember when Trump actually lost the presidency, when all the Republicans turned on him, I made a video on YouTube comparing Trump to Julius Caesar because his platinum plan, he was like pro-black. And then all the Republicans stabbed him in his back and betrayed him and hanged him out to dry. The same thing they did to Caesar when he rebuilt Carthage and made, the province of Africa the center of the Roman Empire. But fast forward to Saint Maurice. He was an Egyptian from Thebes. A Roman general. And Maximilian sent him to Switzerland to kill off the Christians. And Maurice was also a Christian, a Coptic Christian of Egypt. And because when he got to the town and found out they were Christians, he refused to kill them. And because he refused to kill them, Maximilian ordered a punishment on Maurice and his soldiers called decimation. What decimation is, every 10th soldier was put to death. And they did decimation on Maurice and his soldiers. And eventually Maurice still wouldn't kill the town, right? So eventually they killed Maurice because he wouldn't kill the Christians. And because Maurice wouldn't kill the Christians, they actually made him into a martyr. And he's the most important martyr and patron in Christianity to this very day. And they renamed the town that he was going to kill. See, Thebes, Egypt, that's where he was born. He died in Switzerland. See right there? He died in Switzerland because he wouldn't kill the Christians. And to this very day, he is the patron saint in Germany, he was the patron saint of the Holy Roman Empire. And they still use his image to this day to protect their cities, to protect their country. And Switzerland was allowed to actually be neutral during World War II because of Maurice. But Saint Maurice is the reason they start calling the Negroes Moors, because of his valor, his honor, his glory, his great sacrifice. Saint Maurice. And that's because Julius Caesar, when he conquered the Roman Senate, the Republic, he made Africa the center point, which is Carthage and Egypt. And then you had the province of Judea, which is the Bible, with Jesus and all of them. But the Rome took over the whole North Africa, but the only Africa was just Carthage. Fast forward to the fall of Carthage to the Muslims, and then the fall of Spain to the Moors, the blacks from so-called North Africa. named after Maurice. They conquered Spain until 1492. In 1492, during the Spanish Inquisition, the Moors was given a choice. Either they convert to Christianity, or they fled, or they were killed and enslaved. And a lot of the Moors from Spain was sent to the Americas, because that's shortly after allegedly Columbus discovered America when he landed on Haiti, and then to the Bahamas. But Pope Alexander the Sixth, let me show you Pope Alexander the Sixth. Hold on. He set a papal bull. Pope Alexander the Sixth had a papal bull called the Doctrine of Discovery. Watch this. Doctrine of Discovery, which gave the Christians, the Christian conquistadors, on May 4th, 1493, played a central role in the Spanish conquest of the New World. The document supported Spain's strategy to ensure its exclusive rights to the lands discovered by Columbus, but he gave them the right to enslave all of the people and to convert them to Christianity in a new world. And prior to Pope Alexander, he also used his son to be the new Jesus. He used his son, Pope Alexander's son, watch this, to be the new Jesus, Caesar Borgia. Look, not only did he actually make the papal bull to enslave all of the people in the New World, he turned Jesus into the white man. You see what I'm saying? This is the Jesus that you worship right here, Caesar Borgia. But before Pope Alexander made that papal bull ordering the enslavement of all of the people in America, you had Pope Nicholas V. Pope Nicholas. Hold on. Pope Nicholas. Pope Nicholas V made a papal bull to enslave all the Moors. Portugal, 1455, courtesy of legally granted Portugal the right to enslave any and all people they encounter south of Cape, whatever that is, the coast of the Western Sahara, to enslave all the blacks. Also, this was talking about West Africa, but it was also in Spain. Let's say 1455, but let me go to the one of 1452. This Pope was talking about enslaving all the blacks. It auctioned Alfonso V of Portugal to reduce any Saracens, basically to enslave all the Moors in Spain. And then they went into the Africa, West Africa, to enslave all of the Negroes in West Africa. Dum diverses, papal bull. But at this time, Africa still wasn't called Africa. It was a group of provinces, tribes, nation states. You had Mali, like places like Mali, Morocco, Mali, Mauritania. Those were countries all named after Saint Maurice. And he was actually very integral into the foundation of the new religion of Islam, which is all about martyrism, dying for the great cause, based on the life of Saint Maurice. But I'm gonna get into where Africa was actually started, when the Europeans chopped up Africa in the Berlin Conference. And I know Africans aren't the real Africans, because when the United States, a company in the United States called the American Colonial Society, when they established Liberia for the free Negroes in the early 1800s, the Africans in West Africa saw the Negroes as colonizers. They didn't accept them as their own people. And this was before the Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference right here, watch this, is when they actually chopped up, divided the whole continent of Africa. Congo Conference. The Berlin Conference, also known as the Congo Conference or West Africa Conference. To chop Africa up and disperse it amongst all Europeans. This is the true nature and beginning of a country, a continent called Africa. The only people in the world to this very day known as Africans are the Negroes in America, the so-called African Americans, and the people in South Africa who suffered apartheid up until 1990, until a group of people from Chicago started a divestment movement to force Illinois, because Illinois was a iron producing state, and they say they're going to stop Illinois from doing business with South Africa with that iron. You know, the importing iron from South Africa. And because they did that, that forced the British government to finally end apartheid in 1990, and to also free Mandela. It was Chicago. Watch this. Watch this. But the rest of the people in Africa, they're not the Africans. Because the only Africans originally was the people that lived in Carthage. Hold on. Watch this. Coalition for Illinois Divestment from South Africa. These are the people who ended apartheid in South Africa. The people from Chicago. In the 80s, the 1980s. See this? 1983. Coalition for Illinois Divestment from South Africa was formed by a group in the spring of 1983. Their goals were to convince the state of Illinois to stop investing in South Africa industries, both through portions of pensions funds being removed from the nation and the refusal to buy South African products, particularly steel. They traveled around the state promoting divestment. Now, guess who's talking about divestment? The Negro female. Talking about divesting from the so-called black man. But that's another story for another day. Another topic for another day. But today I just want to talk about how Africans aren't Africans. They are just basically tribes, scattered, dispersed, colonized tribes who, because during the Industrial Revolution of the late 1800s, the European powers wanted to control African resources, the continent's resources. So they just divided the whole continent up amongst themselves and called it all Africa. But Africans to this day don't even call themselves Africans. They call themselves by their tribe and their nations. They don't call themselves Africans. And they proudly say they are not black. They are not black. I'm like, the blackest people on earth talking about they are not black. They say the only blacks are American, but they actually are true, because a lot of the Negroes in America were enslaved by the Spanish Inquisition, shipped to the Americans to be slaves. Some of them actually converted to Christianity. I read that in this book called The Invention of the White Race. A lot of Christian Moors thought because they be converted to Christianity, they would be spared persecution and enslavement. And they still enslaved the black Christian Moors, because the Papal Bull by Nicholas, the many Papal Bulls by Pope Nicholas, ordered the enslavement of all Negroes, irregardless if they're Moors or not. And Pope Alexander ordered the enslavement of everybody in the New World. Hold on. Hold on. That's my website. That's my website right there. So yeah, you could go to my website, support my books. You know, I'm trying to get this money back that I wasted on this hidden history museum. And I want to actually use this person's name because I know how the algorithm works, you know. So I'm gonna put his name in these uh, titles to draw in his viewers, his fan base, and then show them these books that they could purchase from me. You could purchase these books from me on my website, these ebooks. Oh yeah, I did say I was going to actually show some of my ebooks. So let me do that. Let me do that. Let me show some of these. Let me do that. Let me demonstrate. Hold on. Let me open up Black Magazine. Hold on. Black Magazine, issue number 15. 50, issue number 15. You could get this magazine. Issue number 15. That's that. 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 Let me open up another one. Open up a recent one, a new one. Hold on, let me open up a new one. Enigma. Let me open up Enigma 7. Hold on, let me open up Enigma 7. Where is it? I don't see it. It's 3, 4. Let me open up 5. Let me open up 5. Simple, simple, simple. But it has a whole comic in it. I should get this one away for free. It has a whole comic in number 5. I think the guy that did the movie, what you call it? Nope. I think he stole my comic because that movie is based on this comic right here. Straight up. I should get this one out for free. Got a whole comic up in here. But this whole movie is based on this comic right here. See what I'm saying? That's number 5 though. Look at that. Got a black woman down there working with him. Got a whole comic up in there. That's issue number 5. Let me open up number 4. Open up number 4. Hold on. Let me open up Enigma number 4. Number 4. Hold on. But these are the books I do. This is what I do. That's what I do. I'm trying to sell these books. Hold on. Hold on. Some of the poems. This literature. You know, writings. To the pursuit to mediocrity, I thought it was Socrates, but I know one thing is something ain't even inside me. You niggas, so we have to be silent, to speak the violent, the weak, the minded, the weak, to find it, the seat, the beast, reach the street, the leech, reach the leets. I thought I was over you, but I am not. But yeah, that's about it though. I'm gonna leave it at this point, you know. But yeah, definitely go to this website, check out some of these books. You got Mind Control, Enigma 7, 4. get some of these books. Get some of these books. Support my business. Then you could get this. I'm gonna change the price of this one. Get this poetry book right here. You know, that's about it though.